Hello, my name is Chuanromanee, and today I will be talking about our paper, Supporting Storytelling with Evidence in Holistic Review Processes, a Participatory Design Approach. We performed some participatory design workshops with some college admissions officers and examined how the college admissions process is a sense-making process. So do you remember when you were a senior in high school applying for undergraduate programs? So there was a lot you had to keep track of, including taking the SAT and the ACT, maintaining your GPA, and getting extracurricular experience. There was also the matter of which schools you applied to, and then after that, waiting for months to find out whether you got into the school that you wanted. So in our paper, we took a look behind the scenes of what happens during those long months of waiting. We investigate how readers or college admissions officers approach the holistic college admissions process with a special focus on committee review. So what is committee review? In short, applications can fall on the spectrum of definite accept to definite reject. For those that may be more ambiguous, readers may need to get together to discuss them and come to a decision. So here's a mock-up of a version of the decision sheet, which is an important tool in the process and the current way that the application is presented to the reader. It can contain qualitative information about the student, such as demographic and high school information, and also quantitative information about the applicant, such as the GPA and the test scores. It will also include the reader's comments and takeaways on the application, as well as internal information such as codes. So briefly, the process of leading up to the committee review are as follows. So first, the reader will go through the application and fill out the decision sheet, making notes of what stood out in the application. Each reader is responsible for multiple applications, so they must refresh the memory of the student application before the committee review meeting, which can happen anywhere from the next day to several weeks out. Each meeting has a leader, and readers take turns presenting the student's story and making a case for the student. Then, the readers will discuss whether or not the student should be accepted. So to learn more about the process, we conducted 3 participatory design workshops in the summer of 2019 with 7 admissions officers. Our goal in the first workshop was to figure out what the challenges and opportunities are in this domain. Then, we facilitated a photo-narrative activity in the second workshop to learn more about how participants constructed their stories for the committee review. Finally, in the third workshop, we collaboratively redesigned the decision sheet to better support the process. So the first workshop laid the groundwork of what we plan to do, as well as to get a more concrete understanding of the process. We also introduced the photo-narrative activity, which entailed them looking through an application and taking pictures or screenshots of whatever evidence that they would use for committee meeting. The second workshop mainly involved the photo-narrative activity. We asked participants to create a collage from the screenshots they took between the first and second workshop to construct a story to tell about the applicant in the committee meeting. So here's an example of a collage one of the participants created in this workshop. We coded all 7 and analyzed them with respect to the narrative structures and genres introduced in SIGCHI's seminal paper, Narrative Visualization, Telling Stories with Data. Here's a stylized version of a participant's collage. The photo narrative contains elements of the partition poster as well as a comic book given the commentary caption shown in red. This collage represents a clear flowchart with multiple bidirectional paths. The reviewer described it as such, allowing for the story to unfold in multiple ways and to circle back if needed. Our findings inform our approach for redesigning the decision sheet. In the third workshop, we work with readers to examine the current decision sheet more closely and consider possible designs. This figure shows one potential redesign of the decision sheet based on the way the reader structured the story. I invite you to read the paper for more details on this and other designs that we explored. So in addition to the redesign, we identified 3 important takeaways for the workshops. So first, review processes are sense-making processes. Therefore, evidence collection and storytelling is important. Second, storytelling is not confined just to the committee review process, but also includes forming and supporting arguments while reading and reviewing information. And finally, because this is a holistic process, the goal is for each application to get an equal review. Thus, the rubric dominates this process and therefore the story structure. So thank you for listening to my presentation. Again, my name is Chuanromanee and here is my contact information.